Congressman, so you're against the reauthorization of the FISA bill. Why is that so?
We need a warrant requirement if there's going to be collection and searches regarding American citizens. Otherwise, what you face is a world in which the Fourth Amendment applies differently if you're in the digital space as opposed to in real life. And I think as more Americans live more of their lives online and as more connections in the digital world are global, we should be very wary of the expansion of authorities that have been really abused. In the last Inspector General report, it was over 250,000 times that this law had been violated with illegal searches and queries. I think they were breaking the law about 38 times an hour, so that's a good basis to constrain those authorities.
But the FBI director today was making the case that this is perhaps the most dangerous threat environment since 9/11. He's saying this is a vital tool. Are you concerned that you're weakening our resolve?
Well, you know what would be a vital tool to address the most dangerous threat environment? A secure border. Like if Director Wray and the Biden administration are real fired up about the threat environment, then we should reinstitute Trump policies at the border. But the fact that they allowed the border to be open is not a basis for them to violate people's civil liberties. This is kind of a strange conversation we're having here. I'm a conservative Republican. You guys often call me far right, but here I'm the one arguing for the more aggressive approach to the protection of civil liberties, and it's indeed the Biden administration that's a little nosier and pro-snooping.
Congressman Joyce, a colleague of yours from Ohio, says this is a vital law. It should be renewed. Have you talked to him about your concerns? He basically said, those of you who are opposing it don't understand the law.
We know how many times it's been broken. And if any law has been broken over 250,000 times, I mean, in some of these violations of the law and the queries, FBI employees were searching for information on their neighbors or their former lovers or people involved in their personal lives. And I think that's just wrong. I think we have to have more checks against that, and a warrant requirement would create at least an additional review by a court to assure that there wouldn't be these really insane violations. Now, I don't want people to think that if this were to expire, that we would automatically go dark on the 20th of the month. When we did a short-term extension of FISA to continue these negotiations, the active cases were extended through the end of the year. So we've got a little time to work this out. These are complex intersections of national security and privacy, but I think the Fourth Amendment has to still reign supreme.
Is it dead or will it get worked out?
Oh, I think we're making a lot of progress. One of the main things was to talk about shortening the duration of the renewal from 5 years to 2 years. I think Donald Trump's going to be the next president, so that would give President Trump an at-bat to put his own stamp on FISA reforms. The previous version being considered just yesterday would have been a 5-year extension that would have functionally punted past a theoretical Trump administration.
So, Congressman, you recall that he initially had some issues with it while he was president, but then ultimately was in favor of reauthorizing the bill. What changed?
I think President Trump was the most famous victim of FISA abuse, certainly the most significant victim of FISA abuse when you consider the context of a presidential contest. But I think President Trump took the counsel of a lot of national security leaders in his administration who talked about the vitality of the tool. And again, we're not saying that the tool ought to entirely go away in perpetuity. In this debate, our argument is that we want to make reforms as to the duration of the renewal and a warrant requirement if there is collection on Americans. This isn't a warrant for foreigners. This is where there's incidental collection on American citizens. There should be a warrant. Great. Thanks. Appreciate it.